Hey everyone, welcome into week 10 of the Slating Rink. I am your host, Chad Rink. Follow me on X at Chad Ocho Rinko. Go to fanstreamsports.com to find all your sports needs, wants, anything. You know, we've got Christmas coming up. We got the fanstreamsports.com has all your sports needs that you have, no matter where you are listening. So we did miss last week. I do apologize. It was a crazy week at the house. So we are back at it for week 10 on DFS. So we have not been great. We've been win a little here, win a little there. Nothing major so far this year in the DFS world. So hopefully this week will be a little bit better. So we're gonna bring in the slate. So here at DraftKings, that's where I usually play. I'm not a big FanDuel guy. I'm more of a DraftKings player when it comes to DFS. So it's going to be a pretty good slate. We've got Buffalo's on with Allen. You got Lamar Jackson back. Stafford's look good. Drake May at 6,400. You're going to have some value with Jaden Daniels out, and if Murray is still out, you know, Purdy may be out too. So Stroud is out, which is very interesting. So Davis Mills, anyone? So we'll take a look at it here. So looking at this, if you just look at the games, you want to look at the game environments. None of them, like Buffalo, obviously, I think is going to be a big play. We'll talk about James Cook injuries and how Ray Davis could be just smash play as well. This Baltimore Minnesota game, it should be high scoring. I think there's a lot of good pieces in there, probably expensive pieces. This game, I am staying away from the Jets and the Browns. Maybe some Browns defense. Who knows? Tampa, New England, I think is going to be another popular game as well. I think Arizona, Seattle could be sneaky, but Seattle's D could, I think, stymie the Cardinals. Niners, Rams, and then Detroit, Washington. So I think some of these three later games are very interesting. Mariota against Detroit, you know, if you wanted to go there, I think Detroit is one that we can load up on as well, though they are going to also be expensive. So we will look at this and see what we have. So quarterback wise, again, I don't like paying all the way up for a quarterback, although I do not mind Josh Allen against this Dolphins team. Dolphins are just bleeding points. They give up a ton of rushing yards, especially if James Cook is out. Like Josh Allen could run the ball a little bit more, so you've got that rushing upside. He could run in for 2 touchdowns. So I do not mind Josh Allen as a pay up. Lamar's always in play. Minnesota's defense, they look good some weeks they don't. So I think I prefer Allen to Lamar this week. Stafford against the Niners D, that I don't mind that at all. And also Drake May against Tampa. So I think this Tampa New England game is one I think I would want to target, because like May 6,400, Mayfield 6,200. I like them both. And I think this could be a shootout. I'm not really big on Williams against the Giants defense at home. Goff is interesting, but I think this could be a Gibbs play. If you want to play Darnold against Arizona, I don't mind it. I know they shut down the Cowboys offense, but Darnold has looked great. He threw for 4 last week. Jaxson Dart against the Bears could be a nice little play, especially if you want to run him naked. He's gotten 27, 19, 29, 23. He has the rushing upside as well. So that could be one in play. I don't really want to play Mariota. I think Houston's defense is too good for Jacksonville. So there's not really that many great lower owned plays like Jones at 5,000. If Purdy doesn't play, but the Rams defense okay. Tua against the Bills. I don't think anybody's going to be there, but I think the Bills are going to be ahead in this game. So I think the Dolphins are going to have to throw the ball. So that could be one. Pair him with Waddle or Achane. And then Davis Mills, I'm not really going to go to Davis Mills in this play. I don't think we have to go down this way. And then Tyler Shock against Carolina. Yeah, I'm not going to. I'm not. I don't think we need to go there. Like I would rather play Tua at 48 and find $500 more than going down to Tyler Shock. And then Brissett's also going to be. Brissett's a nice one if we know Murray's out, and if you're the Cardinals, why would you play Murray? Brissett just makes that team look better. So let's see what we can do with Allen. If we just run a naked Josh Allen, although I do love the Ray Davis play at 4,500 if James Cook is out. So I know he missed practice yesterday. So we'll see. I don't know if I'd play Davis and Allen together. But Davis is one that he would be a must play at 4,500 if James Cook is out. Looking at the running backs, McCaffrey 9,000. He's not doing he will get, like he had 2 touchdowns last week. He's just not having the huge 120-yard games that he used to have. The Rams defense is solid. So I will go down. I like other matchups, but I would rather play Gibbs for $1,000 less against Washington than McCaffrey at 9,000. Achane 7,400, don't mind it, but that game could get something where Buffalo gets up 30-7, and then he doesn't play much in the fourth. So Irving should still be out. So if you're playing that Bucs team, Rachaad White is a nice play. Judkins against the Jets. I know I hate this game, but the Jets just gave up their 2 best defensive players. They are not good. I think the Browns just run the ball. So Judkins at 6,500 is interesting because I don't think anyone's going to even want to be part of this game. But if Judkins rushes for 100, scores 2, and this game is 17-3, Judkins still gets there. And I think that's the only way the Browns score is through their ground attack. So Rico Dowdle is banged up. I like him in this matchup if it goes that way. So if Dowdle is out, then I don't know if I'm going to go Chuba Hubbard. I would just like Dowdle if he plays. Hall at 6,000, I think it's just too much. Tracy at 5,800 against the Bears, I don't mind. Monungai's banged up. I think Swift is banged up. If both of the Bears running backs miss, and then you're talking Brittain Brown, I don't know if I want to go there. Like he's at the flat min. He did score last week. He had 5 rushes for 37 yards. He had a long of 22. So then he had 4 for 15, which isn't bad. So I mean, if they both miss, Brittain Brown just for volume alone would be very interesting. So I don't think they both miss though. So I would just, I won't be on. I just don't like that game as a fantasy game this week. So going down, Bam Knights, nothing. Like Kenneth Walker he hasn't done much this year. It's been weird, the split between him and Charbonnet. Hubbard at 5,300 if Dowdle misses, yes. McCroskey Merritt injury, got a lot of injuries. Woody Marks, he had that one big week, and then that was it. Going down here, I think this is a week, like Ray Davis is going to be the one. If Ray Davis is the starter in Buffalo, he's going to be I think you just have to play him because everyone's going to play him, and that'll free up a lot more as well. So but I'm playing Allen in this one. So let's see if we go Allen and let's see if we pay up and get Gibbs, and then who should we? There's just there's not a lot. Like there's guys down here, but I don't not the value that you were really looking for. So I think what I would do if I think let's just throw Rachaad White in there. I think he's going to get the volume. So I like that game. So right now that gives us 4,700 remaining. Let's just go to defense. Let's throw one in there. I like to do that to kind of give us a feel. Again, I really don't like paying up for defenses. Like last week, if you had Tennessee's defense, it smashed because they had two defensive special team touchdowns. So looking at this, Dolphins, no. Commanders, no. Cardinals, Vikings could be. Saints D against Carolina, that is interesting as well. There's nothing really standing out in the lower end. The Browns at 2,900, but I just don't think they're going to pass much. I tell you what, I think what I would like to do, put the Giants on the road against the Bears. The Bears throw enough. I know Caleb doesn't throw a lot of picks, but if that run game's not moving, they will have to throw the ball a little bit more. And I think the Giants can get some sacks, get some turnovers. So let's just throw the Giants in there at 2,500. So that gives us the 3 wide receiver slots, tight end slots at 5,200. I do like that. Let's go to tight ends real quick, see if there's any value there. If at 6,000, if Brissett's the quarterback, I would play Trey McBride. I saw like in all his games with Kyler Murray, McBride has had 2 touchdowns, and then I think the 2 or 3 games he's played with Brissett, he has 4 touchdowns. So Brissett knows that he's good and gets in the ball. But I think I'd rather pay down at tight end. I would look Kincaid at 4,300 against the Dolphins. Fannin against the Jets could be interesting. That game looks like it's going to be rainy and nasty, so I'm not too sure on that. You could go Cade Otton. I think this is a week I'd like to pay down, and I think what I would like to do is probably, I don't know if I want to go down too far with Likely because Andrews is there. They're going to split. Arroyo was decent last week. Dolchik. I think I don't want to go too far down. So I think what I do, I kind of like Juwan Johnson here. It's Shuck. It could be risky, but we've seen him. He can have some big upside. So let's throw him in at 3,700. Gives us 5,600 for wide receivers. Here's the thing. If we do Allen, I don't really like pairing him with any of his receivers because I just don't. None of them have really stepped up and had that big game. If I was going to do anybody, they're all roughly the same. Do you look at Gabe Davis now joining the team with Palmer out? Like, Shakir's the one I would like the most because he's getting the most targets. Although, like, Coleman could have his. I just don't know if they got to pass as much with Allen there. So, we'll kind of look at that. So I just don't like to pair him. I just would rather do a naked Josh Allen here. And then if you're looking at this Tampa New England game, and if this is the game you want to really target, what we can do is looking like I think I'd go Ibuka and White. And then if you're looking, Butte is hurt. You got Diggs, and then you've got Douglas and Mac Hollins. I think Douglas would be interesting, especially if Butte misses. Diggs just he's not really getting the type of targets you like, and Douglas has that big play ability opportunity. The other one I would look at then, if we decide to keep this game, is to do Hunter Henry at 3,500 because I think Henry can get like a couple touchdowns. He's not getting targeted a ton, but if we want to keep it with this game, run it back with Hunter Henry, have a White, Ibuka, no Baker, run it back with Henry, and then that leaves us 5,200 for 2 wide receivers and a flex. So trying to see any of these other games I like. See what JSN's price is. JSN's at 8,600. I do like JSN this week. I just don't know if I can pay the 8,600 price tag on him. So looking back, Jefferson, I don't mind him at all. Collins with Mills, it may be okay. If you want to run back with Waddle, I don't mind that. If you're running Allen, so run it back with Waddle. I do like a Dunze if he plays, but he's got a Q tag on him. Trying to see if we can find a pretty good value play here. Parker Washington would have been had they not picked up Jacoby Myers. It's just kind of one of these where you go down and Leggett. I just don't like that. Zacchaeus, like Gabe Davis, maybe. But his first game back, I don't know how many routes, how many snaps he's really looking at. So there's really that's the other thing too, is there's nobody down here that's popping out based on injuries. So what I may do, like for some reason I don't like this Josh Allen naked build. So I think what I'll do is either I may go Mayfield, or like I said, I don't mind if I'm doing a naked Jaxson Dart against the Bears. And then if you want to try to pair him with one of his receivers or a tight end, Wan'Dale Robinson is going to get there with the receptions. So he would probably be my preferred stack with Jaxson Dart, him, or if you want to go Theo Johnson. But I think for this 5,300, let's go Robinson in. Then here you'd want to probably do a Bears run back with this lineup. It's just, I don't know where I'd want to go on this flex spot, because you're missing Swift, Adunze, Monangai, and DJ Moore. So you could go Loveland. I'm not buying the hype. Like if you watch that game, which I did, that one play it was a broken play that he scored that touchdown was a huge play for him. Had the Bengals been able to tackle, that play would not have happened, and his day would have not have looked as good. So I'm not big on that. Again, Brittain Brown would be a play here if the other two miss. So I'm not sold on running it back with the Bears. And plus the Bears can spread it around. So I don't really think we need to get a Bear. So if we're looking then, I know for sure I like Ray Davis in this spot here if James Cook misses. So I think that's how I want to go. Like Kittle's interesting too. Kittle's would be here at 45. So you can go a couple different ways here. I think what I would do here for this play is I'll just make it easier and just go here. And then look to get Ray Davis, throw him in, and then you have you have 700 left over, so you got a little bit left. It gives you the Dart Robinson stack, this single stack, mini stack against that Bears defense, which is not good. I like Gibbs against Washington. I wouldn't mind stacking up some lines as well if you wanted to. Again, if you wanted to, not take a Buka, and then you decided you wanted to go up here, and then you wanted to grab. You can't grab St. Brown, but you could grab Thomas. If you wanted to grab Gibson, St. Brown, then you've got to find $700 somewhere else. And in doing that, you could, Henry is not one, since you're not playing that stack, you could save some money there. $2,800 tight end. You can find somebody to do that. If you think this is going to be the Taysom Hill game out of nowhere, maybe take a chance on him. But he, like you can look and see, he is not eclipsed 7 fantasy points all year. So, but again, you take those chances with Taysom Hill, and if he scores 2 touchdowns at 2,700, that's a huge play for you. I do like the rest of this lineup though. Let's just say, let's take out White and let's see if let's move Davis up here. So if we take Davis in the running back spot, and then we have a tight end in flex 4,600. So I do like Gibbs, St. Brown. I think I just think Detroit can just score a ton. If you want to get a piece, if you get Davis, if you think that Bills game is going to go. You got Kincaid at 4,300. I almost kind of like Kittle better at 4,500. But if you think the Bills are really going to roll it up, you can go 4,300 there. You got that mini stack, I guess, game where you got Kincaid, Davis, and you got Waddle run back. You have 4,900 left for your flex. So you're looking, you're probably having to try to find something. I mean, you got Jameson Williams there. If you'd rather go that than St. Brown, I think I'd rather go St. Brown. You could take Jacoby Myers on his new squad. Jennings to be one too, because he's a guy that at 4,600 could he has an opportunity to have a big game if he's getting the targets. So he's got 775, so he is getting involved. So I wouldn't mind that one because I think he's probably the best option of somebody who can actually have a decent game. So I kind of like that one better, taking Jaxson Dart, saving some money on Allen. You get Gibbs and St. Brown, who both can have huge. That's the one thing, though, too, having both in the lineup. They both can hit. It's just, the Lions would have to score like 40, 45, which I think they can. You're just then not getting the huge Gibbs or Brown. But I do like playing both because I think if you're not playing golf, playing Gibbs and St. Brown together is a little bit different because I think people are going to play either one or the other, thinking that they both can't get there, but I think they can both get there easily. I do like Waddle coming back against Buffalo. He's involved. They have nothing else really there besides Achane. So I do like that as well. I mean, you could get off Waddle if you really, really did not want to take a Dolphin. And then it opens up. You got Collins. Olave's not bad. Flowers against Minnesota. You've got options there. Harrison has looked good, but that's really going to be dependent on if Kobe Brissett is at quarterback. So I just like Waddle. I like Waddle there. I don't trust the Bills D that much. Dolphins are at home. So that would be my lineup. Jaxson Dart, quarterback, pairing him with Wan'Dale Robinson, no run back for the Bears. And then I've got Gibbs, Ray Davis at running back. That would be the one that would change. I would probably tweak this lineup a little bit if James Cook plays, because then I think Ray Davis is not that good of a play. And then I probably have to move some other stuff around, probably take out Gibbs or St. Brown, because I'm not going to be able to find a $4,800 running back to replace him. Brown, Waddle, Robinson, Kincaid, Juwan Jennings, and the Giants defense. So there's a lot of ways you can go here. I think even though you've got Allen and Jackson on this slate, I just think I think you can find quarterbacks down here that are going to do that be just as fine. I know Allen and Lamar can bust the slate. I just don't know if that's going to, I just don't think these are the matchups that they'll do that. Again, Allen could be out in the fourth quarter as well and have like maybe one rushing touchdown, 180 receiving yard or passing yards, that kind of thing. So that is it for the slating rink today. It's an interesting slate because there's really not a ton of value outside of Ray Davis and maybe Brittain Brown if Swift and Monangai both miss. So this is just kind of more of a first look for me. I usually don't like to start playing my lineups until Saturday evening when you get more news about injuries. So that's the big thing. And again, the key is I think the James Cook injury, and then looking at the Bears backfield to see what is going on with that. So again, the games that I kind of like are that the ones we talked about. I'd like the 4:00 games like Detroit, that Rams-Niners game. I would not mind maybe doing a stack there. Arizona-Seattle could be underplayed, and then New England and Tampa would be there as well. So again, thanks for watching the slating rink. I will probably tweak that lineup at some point, and then I'm going to put it out on my social. So again, Instagram, I'm at RinkNado. Go to X, I am at Chad Ochorinco. Again, go to fanstreamsports.com. Check out all our shows. I just recorded a Chadlock, so we're up 49 units on just the Chadlock bets this year. So go check that out. That'll drop later today. And then if plug a new show coming out, College basketball, going to be March Chadness. I will discuss some college basketball on a weekly basis, most likely beginning of the year, kind of look at who we think could win, look at some top 25. As the season goes on, we're just mostly going to be, hey, let's look back at what happened last week. What are teams looking like? Probably have a couple bets for you in college hoops. And then the crux of it's going to be we will discuss and have our own March Madness tournament bracket of some random topics. And then we will discuss it. I'll have guests on. Mostly going to be my youngest brother will probably be the one main one on there. So we'll have people on here discussing the bracket and then coming up with a winner of like best serial, best TV theme song, best episode of a TV show, those types of things. So I think it's going to be a fun show because I think everyone loves brackets. And as we get closer and closer to March, we will dive in more on, okay, what teams are looking prime to make moves. We'll start diving into some of the lesser conferences, kind of maybe seeing if there's some Cinderellas, some sneaky sleeper teams out there as well. So that should be dropping next week is the plan to do that. So check that out again. It's going to be at fanstreamsports.com. March Chadness coming your way. So thanks again. This has been the Slating Rink, and now we return everybody to a forward all slate.